Yes, my name is Ginny Meerman. I am happy to be here today for several reasons, the main being that I will stand up and fight for my freedom, my children's freedom. It is all about God, country, and family. When someone tries to step on those, I stand up. And I'm happy that you all are here as well. We need to join forces when we are faced with this sort of that's right, tyranny. I was on Facebook a couple of days ago, and yes, I'm on there quite often. I'm there really to keep my finger on the pulse of what's sort of popping and shaking in the world. And of course, the subject of our constitutionally guaranteed rights to bear arms was a hot topic. We all are aware of what happened in Sandy Hook, a few weeks ago. And when something like that happens, of course, we naturally start talking about banning guns. We start talking about the Second Amendment. It becomes very prevalent, and as it should. We should talk about these things when a horrific crime like this happens. I think it's healthy to talk about that, because it is the nature of the horror that happened that sort of brings us together. At the same time, we need to be vigilant in recognizing exactly what those who wish to limit or remove certain rights that we are guaranteed by our Constitution, we need to be vigilant and aware of what they're attempting to do to each and every one of us. We need to be cognizant of the people, for they are extremely dangerous to the very foundation of this country. Our rights as Americans are guaranteed by that Constitution. Our founding fathers, who were revolutionaries, created our Constitution to protect American citizens, which includes protection from the reach of a potentially tyrannical government. How can we do that? We do that by being armed. Think about the Second Amendment and what it is exactly. As it's written, it says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period. Don't mess with me. It's mine. The right to keep and bear arms is simple. Yet there are some who's out there right now arguing that the Second Amendment, and this is totally ridiculous, was written to give hunters the right to bear arms in order to kill their food. And since we have grocery stores and us common folks don't need to be shooting the deer and the whatever, we don't need a gun. Why do we need it? That's what they're telling us. So we shouldn't have them. So this is the furthest from the truth. It's poppycock. It's bullcrap. Pardon my French. Exactly. Not a bill of needs, it's a bill of rights. The Second Amendment has to do with freedom and our ability to own and brandish a weapon if we so choose. We are law-abiding citizens. That's our right. It means we are free. A gun is the most powerful weapon in any revolution, and trust me, tyrannical dictators know it. They want to take it from us. Remember, our founding fathers also knew this well because they were what? They were revolutionaries. And if you look at every single tyrannical overthrowing of any country and its people, you will see one common thread. They disarmed the people first, under the auspices of protection of the people. In reality, it was the removal of freedom of the people to protect themselves from the dictator and from his tyrannical government. We have a dictator sitting in our White House. I'm telling you right now. And what will happen if this dictator takes your rights and my rights? We become enslaved to that dictator. Oh, hell no. No. Not happening on my watch. No. No. Check this out. Look at American history. Look at our history. What was the last group of people who were not permitted to own guns? Who were they? Black people were not allowed to own guns. Why? Because they were slaves. If you gave a black person a gun, they weren't going to be a slave anymore. Don't give the black person a gun. Keep them enslaved. Exactly. When a government knows its citizens can rise up against it, they are less inclined to even think about enslaving its people. Period. I'm staying armed. Don't come up against me. I will shoot your ass. When a government wants to control its people, it will begin taking the people's ability to protect themselves away. They will erode the rights slowly, and on the surface it will appear to be done logically, and it will always start under the auspices of protecting the innocent. Right now they're picking on Sandy Hook and the children. It was horrible, but this is not what it's about. Smoke and mirrors, people. It's exactly what's happening right now. We hear things like normal citizens do not need assault weapons. There's no need to own a weapon that has a clip of more than 10 rounds in it. Says who? Says who? If you got one, I'm going to have one.
That's right. It's also a magazine.
Yes. Those statements are all man of smoke and mirrors. The passion of fear and the false security of being looked at after by someone, by a government, in order to deflect our attention from the real purpose of infringing on our Second Amendment rights. My right to protect myself and those I love from evil, using an assault weapon if I choose, or a pistol, is my right, given to me by the courtesy of the Second Amendment. One other thing I want to share with you before I close. As important as this is that we are gathering here today to protect our rights, the Second Amendment, we need to be aware that what's going on right now, daily, by the tyrant sitting in the White House, is the erosion of our freedom. He is doing all he can do. This right now is almost like they're throwing things out to get us scurrying and paying attention to just this, as we forget about Benghazi, as we forget about, there you go, Fast and Furious. We're forgetting about that, exactly. Pay attention to this. I'm coming after this, people. We all gather. It's important we gather, but we need to gather on every single issue. We need to be making him accountable. We do not back down at all, ever, period. And I will say this, they can try and ban guns all they want, but they can't ban evil. And I will fight evil, period. All of us.